To level up your baking, you really need to know how to make a perfect meringue. And although it's just egg whites and sugar and a bit of magic, if you level it up by using Muscovado sugar, it turns it into something really special. So we're going to start with eggs, large eggs that are at room temperature, and this is obviously for our egg white. I like to use 2 bowls, so I separate the egg into one just in case I get a bit of egg yolk, then I haven't ruined my whole batch of egg whites. So now that I've put the egg whites in a clean bowl, it's very important, it has to be spotlessly clean, room temperature. I'm going to start whisking. You can totally do this with a hand mixer if you have, but I think a stand mixer just a lot more easier. A lot more easier. What? So at this stage, you're going to keep on whisking because we're looking for soft peak stage. So you can see the bubbles getting smaller and smaller as we beat it for longer. Okay, so this is what you call soft peak stage. I just want to show you. So when you lift it up, you can see it forms a floppy, soft peak. And this is the stage at which we're going to add our sugar. So you need to work quite quickly, otherwise it starts, if it sits, then it kind of breaks up and it's not so lacquer. So we're going to add our warm sugar. So it's 165 grams of the Natura Golden caster sugar, and I've warmed it in the microwave. This is going to make a more stable meringue, which makes it perfect for baking. So it's nice and warm to the touch, and we're going to add that gradually. Adding the sugar really slowly is so that it dissolves in little bits rather than all at once. If you've ever made meringue that started off light and pillowy and then turned into a soupy mess, it's because you added the sugar too fast. So it dissolves very quickly and puts a lot of liquid into the meringue. Then the reason why I heated my sugar, when you add the sugar to the meringue, it produces a more stable meringue because of the heat. And also you could see how the volume of the meringue kind of tripled while I was adding it. So that just adds, it makes them really pillowy and light, and when you bake them, they're like little clouds. Oh, look how pretty. It's like whipped cream. See how thick that is. Okay, so this is now stiff peak stage. How cool is that? So this is a normal meringue, but now obviously we want to turn it into a Muscovado meringue. So I'm going to use the Natura Sugars dark Muscovado sugar, and that's going to add the flavor into the meringue. So what makes this sugar so special, it's got a really like dark, sort of licoricey kind of taste, which comes completely natural just from the sugar cane. It's unrefined, so it's not like the other sugars that are made with white sugar and then they mix in molasses or treacle syrup. This is all natural. It's got all the goodness locked in, all the flavor, and it really like ramps up your baking and just adds something else to something special. So you're going to need to make sure that you let the mixer run so that all those little sugar granules dissolve properly, because the Muscovado sugar, the granules are a little bit, what's the word? Bigger. The granules are a little bit coarser, so you're going to need to let it run until all of those have dissolved. Okay, this is ready. Ooh, look at that color. Oops, I missed. Oh, look how pretty. Oh, so pretty. Okay, so now we're going to put it onto a baking tray. So I'm kind of going for a very like cloudy, beautiful puffs of meringue look. Because all the flavor is in the meringue, I want that to be the hero. I'm not going to do like fancy piping, but you're welcome to do that if you like. This technique is really difficult. It's just plopping them on a baking tray. They're like little clouds. Look at them. It takes years of practice to do the perfect blob. It's what I went to chef school for. to make the perfect blob.
Looks like you're serving up soup.
Sorry, I'll try and do it with a little bit more finesse. Okay, and then I'm going to sprinkle some of the dark Muscovado sugar on top for a little bit of crunch. And because I think it's so pretty. You could totally put some nuts on here if you want, but I want to hero this beautiful sugar. And then it's going to go into a low oven, which for the life of me, I can't remember what the temperature. What's the temperature?
It's 170 fan forced.
170 fan forced.
170, yeah. That's what it
Oh, no, Sophia's disagreeing.
That's full of sugar.
You'll drop it.
Sorry.
What's it?
135.
That's...
Jeez, you like annihilated the meringues.
Okay, so these meringues are going to go into an oven of 135 degrees fan forced. Very important, if you have a fan forced oven, you need to remember that you need to drop your temperature. Normal oven temperatures are conventional, right? So if the recipe says 180 and you've got a fan forced oven, you actually need to bake it at 160. But I've got a fan forced oven, so I say 135. 135. So we're going to bake it 135 for about 2 hours until they're nice and crunchy on the outside, but we still want them to be marshmallowy on the inside. So the meringues are done. How beautiful do those look? They're like little pillowy clouds of deliciousness. I'm going to pile them onto a kickstand. So you can see the sugar on the top has gone like all crunchy and delicious. And so you could totally just serve these with like a dollop of whipped cream and maybe like some toasted hazelnuts or a little bit of caramel sauce. You could serve them as is in all their beauty, or imagine this as a pavlova with like chocolate mousse inside and caramel sauce and all those delicious things. Those are my Muscovado meringues. You really need to level up your baking, you